It's your boy Genius with G Squared Tactical. Got the GX2 back out at the range. What you just saw was 9 short of 250 rounds to get us out to 750. There have been no problems. Still got a little slop on certain magazines. Not sure that that's going to go away. I have kept the magazines loaded up. One of them seems like they've gotten a little bit easier to load, but for the most part, they're still a super pain to load. I'm sure it doesn't help that my fingers are purple because it, once again, is about 30 degrees, 29 degrees, which for us southern boys, that's pretty dang cold. But 2 different times I did a accuracy test, or the best I could, with a little shiver, sugar shake, if you will, from being a little bit chilly. And I don't think it did too bad. I think the grouping was pretty good. Someone said in the comments that he wasn't able to shoot. He was shooting, I think he said 3-inch groups at 10 yards. So I got back to 12 yards and did a little accuracy. One of them was somewhere around the 600 mark. One of them was around the 700 mark. And I don't think it was too terribly bad. Again, the gun is extremely dirty. The feed ramp on this thing, I don't have high hopes for it getting to 1,000 without having at least one failure to go in the battery. There is some grit on the top of the barrel here, so it's getting pretty doggone dirty. So I don't think that that's too terribly bad. Maybe I should have done that in the very beginning. Maybe when I'm done with the review, I'll clean it up and see if maybe we can do the accuracy test again. But what I'm going to do is, after this 750, I'm going to do another 250, get it out to 1,000 rounds. And then once it's made it to 1,000 rounds, if it makes it without an incident, I'm going to just go ahead and go out to 1,200, and I'm going to do the mud and the torture and the water and that stuff at that point. Gun has not been cleaned, nor will it be. 9 rounds to 250. You saw I was John Wicking. I went back to John Wicking the mags. I just made very sure that I was getting it over there into that gravel. But also, it's kind of a test as well to see if the magazines will split open or break, as people suggested. As you will notice, I do not have my sunglasses or eye protection on. The last 250, I'll have my safety goggles on for everyone that would be influenced to do bad things by watching someone do bad things on YouTube. For all of you guys that think that that is true, I'm going to put these 9 rounds through it. If they go through there without incident, that'll be 750 rounds without a single incident. So let me put those through there, and then I'll talk a little bit about if anything has changed with the pistol overall. I was going to say I always miss one, but the reality is I missed 2. I was shooting at the little tiny silhouette in the center there. Anyway, I really have enjoyed shooting this gun thus far. In fact, sometimes running these guns like this can become quite the arduous task. I mean, you're back there just loading magazines and just running the gun. I mean, you're really doing nothing. You're not necessarily proving anything other than it'll run, right? And for those who said, well, you know, you're not showing me anything that a normal gun buyer would do, as in the normal gun buyer would buy the gun, take it home, and clean it. Well, let me just be completely transparent with you, right? I can't recall a time that, since I have been buying guns way before I ever started doing this YouTube channel, that I bought a gun, brought it directly home, broke it down, lubed it, and cleaned it up. Never done that, right? Good, bad, or indifferent, I've never done it. I just haven't. And there's been very few, if any, times that I can recall or recollect a memory that I've had a problem with that, ever. Not ever. I just take it out of the box and I shoot it, because here's the thing about it. I'm not going to carry the gun. I'm not going to use the gun for self-defense until I have proved it'll run, right? So what if I take it out to the range and run a few you know, a few boxes through it or 25 and it starts to malfunction. Okay, well, I'll take it over on the tailgate and I'll clean the thing up and that'll be that, right? Because I mean, and of course, before I put it on my side or use it in a self-defense application, of course I'm going to clean the gun, right? But then for every one person that says that I should do that and I'm an idiot for not doing that, there's 99 that says, well, how's it run out of the box without any oil, without any cleaning? You know, how does it? Well, you know, I'm going with the 99 that want to know that. And here's my take on it. If this thing will go 1,000 rounds, which honestly at this point, I don't have any reason to believe that it will not. But if this thing will go 1,000 rounds without having been cleaned, with Winchester white box being everything I just shot was Winchester white box. So with Winchester white box being what I am shooting the majority of, shooting 124, the Igman, the S&B, which is good ammunition, Igman's good ammunition, the 147 hollow point, jacketed hollow point silver tip, and the 147 federal law enforcement, shot it all, ate it all up. If it'll do that for 1,000 rounds, maybe even 12 in the case of this one, dipping it in some water and stuff, I'm telling you, my local gun store, the owner, I went in there one day, I said what I said on camera the other day, that I feel like the majority of people, I said 60%. I feel like 60% of people come into these stores, buy a cheap gun, $250, $300. They go over to the range, put a box of Winchester white box, 50 rounds through it, take it home, clean it up, put the cute little red tipped Hornady rounds in there, stick it in an Uncle Mike holster and walk around with it flopping around in Walmart and think they're ready for the bad guy. He looked at me like he understood with a little chuckle and said, nah, bro, that's about 90% of the people that walk in here. Okay, so for those 90% that maybe genuinely, truly can't afford, as I can, or as maybe you can, to go out and buy an H&K, go out and buy a CZ, a Glock, or, you know, a Shadow System, or whatever your favorite brand is, maybe they can't afford to go out and buy those. They're likely never going to run 1,200 rounds through this gun in their life. And if that be the case, if it ran 1,200 rounds without being cleaned in the conditions that I'm running this thing in rapid fashion, right, it's probably going to go a couple grand, maybe 2 or 3 grand, maybe more than that. Who the heck knows? It's going to serve that 90% very well. And there's no need for anyone, not me or anyone else, to be a gun snob or to be a little prick about people that buy what they can afford. Nobody should be a prick about that. Is this the build quality of a Glock, H&K, CZ, FN, Shadow System? Of course it's not. Of course it's not. There is a reason it costs $250. Of course it's not that build quality. But who am I to say what someone can afford to defend their family with? And if I could put 1,000 or 1,200 rounds through this thing without incident, hey, I could totally recommend, if that's in your price range and all you can get, go out and buy it. And heck, even if it's not, if you just want a range toy, if you just want something you don't want taken from you in the case that you have to use it, well, guess what? It's going to work for you in that case as well. And for the other guy that sent me a link that said, I bet it won't do this, the RXM, somebody put 8,000 rounds. Let me tell you about somebody that put over $2,000 worth of ammunition through a $400 gun. He had an agenda. He's got a really big, deal with an ammo sponsor or something, or he works directly for Ruger. I tell you what, I haven't watched that video. All I know is what he said. They put 8,000 rounds through it. I bet that Taurus won't do that. I tell you what, it's about 24 cents a round for some decent brass ammunition. That guy, you know who you are, hit me up on Facebook, Messenger, whatever. I'll shoot you my information for Venmo. You Venmo me whatever that is, $2,200 with tax, whatever that comes out to. You Venmo me $2,200 and I'll run 8,000 rounds through this gun. I don't know what it's going to do. If it doesn't make it through the 8,000 rounds, and hey, you was right, and I'll use the rest of the ammo to review some other gun. Who cares, to be honest? You are being a gun snob, and you're turning your nose up at guns that maybe only can be afforded by some folks, and they shouldn't be made to feel like less of a person for that. Now, what you should do is you should take your gun once a month and at least put 100 rounds through it. You should practice with it. If you don't, you are negligent, and I don't want you around me or my family in any restaurant or anything else because I see and view you as negligent gun owner. That's just the way it is. You should practice with your gun. Make sure you know Jesus Christ is your Savior, the most important thing you will ever do. If you don't know, ask me. I've already talked to a few people in the comments section. Be happy to help you out with that. Go over, consider supporting me on Patreon. Only $5 a month still yet. I get $4 of that, and you can cancel that anytime. On gsquaredtactical.com, up in the left-hand corner of the screen, you can hit the three lines. It'll pop down, say support channel. I get more of that money than anything else. You can donate any amount that you want. I also get the super thanks on YouTube. I get that money as well, and I would be more than happy to put all of that money back into the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. And as always, to God be the glory.